1914. Oh, it's a very, very tough one. But we'll continue to strive and endeavor because this is the land of our forebears. Yes, it is the land of our forebears. And of course, like Muhammadu Buhari, Nigeria's former president and military head of state, said, we don't have any other country to call our own but this one, Nigeria. My name is Ayodeji Ajishokwe presenting, and producing me is Comrade Victory Richards, smiling at the other end, sweet-looking guy. It's a good afternoon to you. It's always a pleasure and a privilege to be with you wherever you may be located in this global space, especially in Nigeria and Nigerians in diaspora. Political Update is the show this Monday afternoon, the 21st day of August, year 2023. I'll be back shortly. Do stay tuned.
I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Every little thing that goes wrong, we start to blame the government. We know everything that goes wrong because we are part of the government. Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way?
Good afternoon to you again. Yes, we're back now to the conversation part of our show. But before we go to the conversation part of the show, I will be doing a little bit of political roundup. The first story here: newly appointed FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has promised to hit the ground running and set up plans to redevelop the Federal Capital Territory Abuja with a series of new infrastructure. Wike spoke out to the media immediately after the official inauguration of the cabinet by President Bola Tinubu. Of course, he held a press conference and he was in company of the Minister of State for the FCT. We got some audio there? All right, let's take the audio for Wike's story.
First of all, the issue of security must be tackled. We are ready to provide the necessary logistics to all the security agencies to do their work. We cannot go and identify the criminals. It is their duty. Our own duty is to provide them the necessary tools. And when I provide the necessary tools, I don't want any excuses. You looking for what to eat your stomach. It was done within the framework of the law. So you cannot say, because people are hungry, therefore everywhere must be market. We cannot allow that. In a city, people are selling with umbrellas under the tree houses. These things cause insecurity. How? You cannot have everywhere as a motor park. You cannot have everywhere as bus stop. I don't care whom you are. I don't care where you come from. What we know, we must sanitize the place. You see how Nigerians are. We are talking about how to restore FCT. We are talking about how we can improve the physical infrastructure of the city. How to sanitize the place. How to put street light. Your own worry is which flag you are flying. My brother, even if it is the world flag, bring it. I don't understand that. People forget that. When Obasanjo was president, he brought Bola Ige to be Minister of Power and then to be Attorney General of the Federation, which is the important position and only ministry that is recognized in the Constitution. He forgot that. Did he have a fall? Well, we concentrating on flag. Okay, bring APC, I will use it. Bring PDP, I will use it. Bring Labour, I will use it. If that is the problem, yeah. I'm here to satisfy Nigerians. I'm here to work for FCT. I'm here to make sure Mr. President achieves the promises he has made to the people of FCT.
Yes, that is Mr. Project. Mr. Project from Rivers State. Governor Nyesom Wike has been in office as the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. He sounding like his usual self. Believe you me, in this country, if you are put in charge of a master plan, to enforce it is not the easiest thing. I remember I worked in the university, and when we got there, I worked with the Vice Chancellor, and I remember when we got there, I was asking the people there, why is this place looking like this? This place is not looking like a university. And I went to the Director of Physical Plan. I said, what is happening here? And he said, well, he tried to enforce it, but it was even the Vice Chancellor that was breaching the physical rule. I said, why? They said they wanted to put structures where people will see it, not following the master plan of the university. So that immediately people come and say, who did this? They did it during the tenure of XYZ. Who did this? They did it. I said, a Vice Chancellor. So the work Wike is taking is not going to be an easy task. But I think if he has the president's backing, like El-Rufai had the president's backing when he was Honorable Minister, sanity must be restored. Sanity has to be restored. Well, that is so much for political roundup. We wish all the newly sworn in honorable ministers, we wish them all the very best. But believe you me, they should understand that they are there to serve, and they should hit the ground running. Yes, they should hit the ground running. People have been waiting. It's been about 90 days now. Well, we now move to the conversation part of today's program. And of course, it will be an X3, because the federal government has been in the eye of the public. You know, we concentrate a lot on the federal authorities. Rather than holding our local government and governors responsible, everybody wants to hold the president responsible. I have live in the studio with me this afternoon a gentleman that is quite active in the space, in the Nigerian political space. He's been active in the Nigerian political space. He's a PR guru. He's also very much in the media space. He is Mr. Kunle David Oladeyinde. I call him Diamond. And of course, you know, diamonds are forever. He is the convener, Nigeria Leadership Front. I must warmly welcome you to our studio this afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to have you again.
Thank you very much.
The first time live, but I know I've had you a couple of times, you know, calling you because you are always on the move. Yeah. Always on the move. Good to have you live here.
My pleasure to be here, all the way from Lagos. You know, it's just about you, because you are a man I respect so much. I should have even proposed this by coming, because a lot of things happen between Saturday and to the other appointment. I said, no. Oh, Mr. Deji appointment should take it to be my priority. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm glad to be here. First and foremost, let me comment Solution FM. It's a unique place. I'm coming here for the first time, but what I'm seeing here is classical.
Did you hear that?
It's classical.
Yeah.
Very, very elegant. I was even looking at the interior, I'm so impressed.
That's good. That's thumbs up for solutions.
Kudos, bravo.
We are the remedy. That's a good one. Coming from Lagos and commending Ibadan here. That's a thumbs up for us. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
I know you worked hard to ensure the success of candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu way back. We have elections are over, campaigns are over. We have a government now. Let's look at what has been happening. The very first few steps that were taken, and then we now have a cabinet, and then we now have even foreign affairs issues. I want you to, I don't want to start itemizing them. Let's do an overview for us since May 29. Do an overview for us.
Wow. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria where we have a government that already prepared for the job. My mentor, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president, have prepared for this for over 30 years. So he has been in school. He knows what to do. He knows how to do it. You know how to go about it. He hit the ground and started running. A lot has been done in less than 100 days. A lot. But for us to see the result of what has been doing, he has been doing all this while, can take a little more time. Let's talk about the appointment of new service chief. Let's talk about the removal of subsidy.
Okay.
No, I will not say he removed subsidy. You just have to follow what has been on ground. Let's talk about the student the student loan. There are so many things you can talk about. Let's talk about the palliative to relieve the citizenry about what they are suffering because of the removal of this subsidy. A lot has happened in the space of just less than 100 days. We are talking about 70-something days now, and he has achieved so much. And I'm not surprised. Because the peak is always in Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our president. So I know he's going to do more, and the greater thing has come. Now, the minister was sworn in today, and you can see one of the ministers as I hit the ground, started running. And I know we have a lot of materials among these ministers. And you will see in the next 6 months or 1 year of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu tenure that Nigeria will be changing from good to better and better and better. Let's also talk about the exchange rates that was marked. The forex. Yes, we are having it so difficult now. Oh, it's going up. There are going to be intervention. When there is intervention, you can look at it in the last couple of days from 950 now coming down.
Yeah.
I think it's now about 870 today. Yeah. And it's still going to come down because there are some speculator who doesn't want it to come down, who are working against the interest of the government. Look at it. When we are having subsidy, we are consuming 65 million liter per day, between 6 and 7 million. But now that there is no subsidy, we are consuming about 15 million.
Is it down to 15 now?
It's 15 million, even less than 15 million liters per day. Where are the
gap?
The gap of about 50 million.
Where did it disappear?
Where did it disappear to? So we are also talking about the ECOWAS. You just asked me to do an overview.
Yes.
You know, they know Asiwaju can perform. They know he became the ECOWAS chairman immediately after he was sworn in. I think it's less than 1 month. Because they know his capacity, they know his ability, they know his capability. Asiwaju for you, and he's performing as expected, even at ECOWAS level. He's the president of West Africa now. And he's performing. So that's one overview.
All right.
In a nutshell.
Okay. Let's look at them item by item. I think the first thing that happened was the issue of subsidy, and immediately there was a reaction. People were still saying, okay, if some people are stealing money, well, let's cuckoo bear some burden for relief. But when the thing moved to it moved to 500 or something, and then barely 1 month after, the thing again moved to 580 here in Ibadan, 600 in some other places. And then people started saying, look, you are talking about corruption. some people are stealing the money. We are not the ones stealing the money. Why put the burden on us? Why you are putting the burden on us, yet you are not looking for those who are stealing the money. We are not hearing from government that government is charging people for subsidy fraud. Even Jonathan, that was supposed to be so inept and corrupt, put some people in jail for subsidy scam. And even the money was not as high as it. So you're punishing the poor, you are not punishing those who are stealing the money. So that issue of subsidy, not punishing, pushing the burden on us, and then the thing was going to rise again. They say subsidy is even back in one way or the other now.
Yeah, I'm not going to confirm that. I'm not the spokesperson to the president, neither am I the Minister of Information on the issue of subsidy is back. Maybe through the back door.
It is back through the back door.
I don't know, I'm not saying
the
that.
president said the price will not go up.
It will not go up because
Yes.
I think when the president is not go up, they might be removing some kind of taxes that makes so that maybe they will wait for now, like what happened in Kenya. Now they remove they have a temporary subsidy for September, I think October also. I think October also. So the price will not go up. But here, I really don't know what we are up to in terms of the issue of subsidy is back or not.
What the federal government did was to go to Nexim and took upfront 3.5 billion US dollars that is supposed to accrue to us later. They took it upfront, and then they are using it to shore up the foreign exchange. That's why the foreign exchange rate came down, 3.5 billion. So they are using it to shore up the value of the naira. But the people are saying, you are taking money that we're supposed to take later, you are taking it now. It is like also borrowing. And then they say the rate of Nexim is far higher than the rate World Bank will give us. And what are you using it to do? You are using it to shore up the value of the naira. They say that people are saying, is that a short-term plan or a medium-term plan or a long-term plan? What is the sustainability?
So one thing I want to say, if you are looking for the best footballer, the best coach, the best president, the best governor, you find them on social media. Because there is nothing a government will do that will not be faulted by them. So they were crying. People are crying that the exchange rate is going up. Naira is crashing every day, and the president is trying to find a way out of it. Yet we are still complaining. What exactly do we want? What exactly do we want? And they want
people are saying, what price are we going to pay for what?
There is nothing without a price.
Certainly, I agree with you.
I've said this severally, not without a price. If you want a good life, you pay a price of good life. If you want a life that is not so good, you still also pay a price. If you are sleeping at your home, you don't want good life, you are paying a price.
Yes, the consequences.
So if you are talking, let's look it from this angle. Yes, from 580 to 617 in some places in Nigeria. Two factors contributed to this. In the natural crude market, we are now selling over $80
per barrel.
$80 per barrel, and there will be a time that it will still come down. In the first tenure of Buhari, President Buhari,
it is rising.
We sold crude oil at $28 per barrel.
Yeah, I remember.
And during the regime of Jonathan, we sold good oil as high as $140 per barrel. If you are using the market forces to determine our price, definitely if the dollar goes up, if the crude oil goes up in the international market, it will affect our local sales here, because no refinery is working. Even the so-called Dangote refinery has not started working. I learned that there's an issue that needs to be resolved, to be sorted out. Until we have our refineries, I think it's technical. Until all our refineries start working, it is then we can enjoy a very better, lower price of petroleum.
But now, it does not even
that's number one. The second aspect, I said two factors contributed to the increase in the fuel price. And let me tell you, it should have been even go higher last week.
Yeah. That was intervention.
That was intervention.
Yeah. That's why I said subsidy. The
second factor is the dollar rate to naira, because it's not a free market. where anybody you can approach the bank and buy a dollar. It's a free market. The market forces determine the cost of dollar to naira. It was going higher and higher, and then people are buying dollar to import petroleum products. So most definitely they can't import and incur loss. They are importing and they are in business to make profit. But let's look at the problem that we have that make all these rates going higher. When I talk about forest, what do we import besides crude oil? Absolutely nothing. Almost 90% of our earning, national earning, foreign exchange is crude oil, and then we now borrow $3.5 billion to cushion the effect of forest. We are still complaining. So in those days, we have 400 something naira to a dollar artificial rate. We also have black market rate, which is about 600 yen, 700 yen. But there is always a round trip. People will go to the official market, buy a dollar, do round tripping, sell to the black marketers, and come back and buy again. Who does this help? It doesn't help the masses of this country. It doesn't help the poor of this country. We should also we as a citizen of Nigeria, we also have our responsibility to ensure that dollar does not go up. We love foreign things. Everything about foreign, we love foreign things.
And condemn everything local.
Till now, Nigeria prefer foreign rice, and then there is no foreign rice again. 80% of the so-called foreign rice are local rice.
Rebagged.
They were rebagged. Why do you see? It's not about government alone.
No, I don't believe so.
We have the responsibility.
It is in us.
It's not about government alone.
I agree with you.
Let me tell you, if Nigeria see a toothpick that was imported and another toothpick that was produced, even that Nigeria own is better, they will still go for that of foreign. So to me, we all have a responsibility. India closed their border for so many years. China did the same thing for almost 40 years. Today, China is, I think, the second largest economy, or if not the first, in the world, because they have paid the price. They have paid the price. There is no pain without gain. And no, you can't gain anything without having pains. I've been saying this, and I'll continue to say it. I told you it's there to work for us.
Now, that is the question that is now being raised. Good. We hear that Asiwaju has prepared for, in fact, he said it, that he's prepared for 30 years for this. But when he came on board at his inaugural, he said, this is out, where subsidy is out, FX is out. And we did not hear him roll out a plan. The people are saying, look, if you remove subsidy and you match there's no sign. No plan was rolled out. It is later that the NEC was called, let us do palliative. And even Professor Babagana Zulum, when NEC decided to do some things about palliative, Zulum said they are shocked that the people are suffering. I said, people say, what is happening here? Are they not living in this country? So if you decided to remove subsidy and match those foreign exchange windows together, people say he should have rolled out a plan immediately. That it seems there was no plan.
No.
In fact, the president said in France that he was suddenly possessed by a courage. That was why he did what he did.
Do you know, even at the speech of Mr. President, the issue of subsidy was not part of those speech.
Yeah.
And if you look at it very well, and if you can recall very well, there's no provision for subsidy in 2023 budget. Subsidy is supposed to end
in June.
By June.
End of June, yes.
And then what do you expect him to do? When this budget was prepared, we have NLC alive, TUC are alive. Let me go to the issue of palliative. Immediately it was removed. And don't forget, all the three major candidates for this election
Yes.
promised to remove subsidy from day one. Let me quote Peter Obi. He said it will go immediately from day one. The same thing with Atiku and Asiwaju. So we don't think we need to complain here. Our focus is what will be the benefit of the masses.
The question now
And
is
the
no
best of
problem with removal of subsidy, but what there should have been a plan rolled out immediately.
he can't execute his plan when he's not the president. It was after he became the president can begin to execute his plan, and which he has been doing now. This is a man that have addressed us within in less than 50 days of the administration. Twice. We all cry about the 8,000 to be transferred, constitutional transfer 8,000 for the poor of the poorest, the poorest of the poor, and we cry. No, we don't want to do it. And then stop. This is a man that we cry after the presidential list was out, the portfolio was out. We cried last week that no, we don't want a 63 years old apostle to be the youth minister. He listening. This was a man that people are crying that no, you should not scrap Niger Delta. And I'm not saying he has the intention of scrapping it, but people cry no, you should not scrap Niger Delta. He listens to them. He appointed a minister yesterday or 2 days ago to Niger Delta ministry.
Does that not look like a man who does not know what he's doing?
No. It's not about that. How do we please? How do we even please Nigeria?
If a leader listens to everything that
he does not listen, wherever he does not listen, then we should also take it like that. If he listens to the yearning of the people, it is not a weakness. It means he gauged the mood of the masses.
Okay. Now, this definitely government is making double of what it was making. Now, if Naira is 800 and something Naira per dollar now, it used to be 400, it is now 800. That means double Naira. They say when you are in economic crisis, you spend your money way out of crisis, especially a recession. Do you see Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government throwing money at this crisis because the pain of the people, it cannot be mitigated because the price of PMS is directly responsible for most of this, which is food anyway. The food, it is the food because Yoruba says everybody you know, ishe bushi. The labor that is crying for a wage increase of 200,000 naira, what is likely to happen to that? Because I think it is crucial. And when is the possibility of it happening? Because this government has not enjoyed any honeymoon. No honeymoon.
When there was the removal of subsidy and the labor agitation of going on strike, and there was a committee that was set up. When there was an increase again, the second time, they wanted to go on strike. They call it protest this time, and because of the pending court injunction restraining them from going on strike. But the president told them that the committee will work for 8 weeks. And the 8 weeks almost lapsed now. I think by this week or next week, it will lapse. It is then they will submit. Everything have a process. You need to follow the process contextuously. If not, we will not get the best. But what I want to assure you, sir, they will not get a wage that will take them home. That will take them home. No more wage. No. Ashwaji will give the labor a living wages compared to other. Imagine within 1 month plus, we're able to save over 1 trillion naira.
Yeah.
In the history of Nigeria, it has ever happened for federal, state, and local government to share 900 billion naira. Just last week,
saved 1 trillion.
And still saved 1 trillion. So I'm coming back to the issue of what is it going to do to cushion the effect. I've said it that's here. Let me tell you, just last week, each state was giving 5 billion naira as palliative, to use as palliative. But people are crying. 5 billion is too much. If it does not give at all, we will cry. And these are just 3 people.
Too much?
They are saying it's too small.
Okay.
Or how will it give how many truck? I think it's about truck or trailer.
Oyo was giving 5,000 bags.
5,000 bags. If we can't do everything in a single day, in a single way, this is a government that responds to people's yearning, to people crying all the time. So people are saying, even if they are giving word by word, it is a step in the right direction. No time is wrong to do the good, to do good thing. So you are saying, you're talking about how it's going to cushion the effect. We took $3.5 billion from Exim, and then today we can see the result. The naira is regaining strength. These are parts of strategy that government is using to ensure that we stabilize, strengthen, empowered naira to the dollar. And all this we are seeing it because for every plans of government, there are other people who are trying to sabotaging those efforts of government. Yes. Those are on the street selling dollar. They will definitely try everything possible to ensure that it does not work out. Those are still our petroleum. They will surely try whatever possible that the issue of Nigeria guiding jealously our petroleum, that it doesn't work out. In the last 1 or 2 months, 2 ships have been destroyed that was caught stealing our crude oil. It has never happened before. Yeah. It has never happened before. So this government have started very well, and all we need to do is to encourage him to do more. And also, I want to plead with Nigerians. Actually meant well for us, but I'm begging you. Yes, we are suffering the pain now. It doesn't affect only 1 person or 2 persons. It's about all of us, including that is talking. But the hope is, our hope is already renewed. The result will be out in due course. You can't plant a crop and go to sleep. You need to water. You need to weed. You need to till the ground. Ensure that it germinates very well. There is no gain without pains. The pains of today is our gain tomorrow. This is my advice to all Nigerians.
I agree with you, but you see, people are saying, if we are going on a journey, we are going to Maiduguri, we are not going to get there one day from Lagos, certainly. There must be a plan. In which kind of vehicle are we going? Are we going in a truck? I mean, are we going in an articulated truck? Are we going in a luxury bus? Are we going in a Molue? Who is going to be the driver? How many passengers? You understand? How are we going to sit? Is there any feeding? You know, people want detail. And then when are we going to arrive at our destination? People do not see that plan yet. That is why people, you know, if people are going on a journey and they know how they're going to go there, in which way, and when they're going to get there, they can make their own adjustments and then make their own plans to fit into that big picture. But now it looks like that is not clear. But wage is key. You know, it is the people that earn salaries that keep the market running. That is why your state is stable, because government workers are getting their salaries and all of that regularly. How much are the workers going to likely, feel us, that I can get from you from within government?
You said something.
I don't expect 200,000 naira from government. I don't think so.
I'm not going to speculate. Okay. I'm not part of the committee, but I can assure the civil servant, the public servant, the TUC member, the NLC member, that they will get a better deal with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. On the issue of traveling to Maiduguri, the illustration you just made that there is no plan how to get to Maiduguri.
They cannot see it. Nigerians cannot see the plan.
Maybe we have some Nigerians who cannot even see good things, no matter what you do. Even if they're on the express, we have some Nigerians like that who are perpetually critics, no matter what you do. They were completely, not only critics, destructive one at that. Nothing can please them. If there is this problem, and they are trying to find solution, it cannot work. Okay, give us your own idea, your own solution. I don't know, but I don't know it cannot work. We know them.
They don't have options.
They are
not providing solutions.
We know them.
Criticizing.
And we are just praying for them. They got touch their life. Let me tell you, you are saying that the journey have started, but it's like the vehicle is rudderless. No, I disagree. This man have shown capacity. He became the president of this country. let's talk about the student loans. A friend of mine who is a pastor just called me. We were chatting a few days ago, and he said, "Sir, I have 2 children in university already. The third, I want him to wait because I don't have ability again." I said, "Pastor, please ask your children, just ensure that guy get admission."
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hearing about student loan. I said it is real. And I don't know anybody. You don't need to know anybody.
You don't need to know anybody. Is it about
So what are you talking about? It's not a plan.
It's an entire.
He said, "We want to steal at all costs." But unfortunately, I couldn't see because of my time. He came, was waiting for me somewhere. I told him, you were entitled to it. It is your right now, not even a privilege. And then, after that, I tried to remove all the obstacles to this assessment to student loan. He removed the FCC chairman. He removed the CBN governor. He removed the subsidy. The forest was matched. And he was saying you are not seeing.
Power has not been charged.
It cannot be charged.
Wow.
According to the feelers I got. This is not a news that I can say I can confirm. But from the feeler, he's not cooperating with the DSS. And I'm so surprised. If you, as a chairman of EFCC, and you do invite people, and you want them to make statements, to hear from them, and you that know the law are not cooperating with other acts of government that try to ask you questions concerning your tenure. To me, I'm surprised.
But he has a right to keep silent.
But why can't he invite his lawyer? He has not invited no lawyer. Nobody talk about him.
If they have anything against him, let them charge him. Is he the one that will
Can
confess?
can anybody be charged without hearing from him?
If they have, look, okay. What about must he confess before he's charged?
If he's not going to
Maybe they did their own investigation.
he must do so. He must say something. There must be a statement.
There is a right to keep. If when police is arresting
My
you,
wife is a lawyer.
if police is arresting you,
There
they will
must
say
be a statement. If police arrest you, you have that to keep quiet. If you have to invite your lawyer. The moment they give you, you must do a statement, and they must ask you question about about the charges against you. But you don't say anything. So let's even leave that apart.
Because I've been
so
wondering.
I'm talking about that you are traveling to Maiduguri.
Yeah.
It is like there is look, the road is clear for everybody that this government is working to ensure that Nigeria enjoy real and absolute dividend of democracy. Unless those people who are spiritually blind, who cannot see it, and there are so few.
2 issues that I want us to talk about. Let's quickly talk about the issue of Nigeria's role in ECOWAS and the Niger Republic. Incidentally, I happen to be a student of war and diplomacy, and I'm surprised. In fact, the first day he went to become the ECOWAS chairman, and the president said in his speech, "Nigeria is back, Nigeria is back." For me, as a student of history, I was a bit worried that why would our president go to the international forum and start saying Nigeria is back? But shortly after that, the issue, our relationship with Niger goes back in time. 70% of people in Niger Republic are Hausas. Why are we playing that role? And all other countries are not on the borders of Niger Republic. If trouble comes now, it is Nigeria that will suffer. Why?
If the ECOWAS does not do it, who is going to do it for us? Is it AU? Is it EU?
Look, all these West
Is it
African, all these West African countries, Alassane Ouattara there, Eyadema there. What audacity or moral fiber do they have to be talking about democracy? Alassane Ouattara, he got into office when Professor Gbagbo was removed because Gbagbo was going to extend his stay and rig an election. Alassane Ouattara got into office, used his prescribed constitutional terms. He has manipulated the constitution, and he's still there. And he's talking about democracy. What democracy? Eyadema is the son of a former president that killed Professor Olimpo. It's like a dynasty now, and they are talking about democracy. What democracy are they talking about?
Let me respond this way.
What democracy?
Let me respond this way. Is there any time that is too late to do the right thing? No time. Let's talk about ECOWAS, like you said. whenever there's military incursion in politics, they say, oh, they are here to just make things work and hand over. Now, in Burkina Faso, in the last 2 years, there have been about 2 or 3 coups. I could not remember very well now.
Yes,
before
right.
this guy, the 32 or 35 years old, became the president. In Mali, about 3 years ago, there was an incursion of the military into the democracy in Mali, and they promised 18 months.
Yes,
They are here for almost 3 years now. I'm coming back. I want to take them one by one. I think last year Guinea-Bissau also had a military intervention in their affairs. They also promised they are going to do some kind of transition within a few months. They are still there. They are still there now. If also that is number 3, and number 4, I think I have talked about Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea, now Niger. And it remains one other country. I couldn't remember. I think there are 5.
In terms of them, yes.
Yeah. In Niger, the same thing happened. A bodyguard that are supposed to protect the president. So they detained him and overthrew him. They also promised to intervene. Now, in all these people that I've mentioned, in Sahel area, there is a terrorist.
They call it the axis of evil.
The IS are having a field day in that place, in those places. As the guy in Burkina Faso is able to curtail the terrorists.
They don't have the resources.
No, have they able to? No, I'm getting somewhere. Now they are in power now. The military are in power in Burkina Faso. The same thing in Mali. Are they be able to curtail them? The same thing in Niger. So we should stop all this sentiment about Yadima, Lakatara, or whatever. But there is no government that is better than civilian rule. The worst civilian rule is better than the best
democracy.
The best military rule. We should not allow this. They give themselves transition of 3 years, and they go and said no. It is not possible. We can't continue because if you don't stop this trend, why is it even happening here in ECOWAS?
But they say the solution
in Southern Africa, nothing like military rule everywhere in Southern Africa. In East Africa, nothing. In Central Africa, nothing like military rule. It has to be contained. It has to start somewhere. The same thing happened. Gambia will have been under military rule.
Military
because Obasanjo said no. It will not. It's different. Buhari, other Buhari said no. We intended them. The man to run away. I think this country is it
Kevad.
Is it Kevad?
Yeah.
But it's not part of ECOWAS.
Yeah.
But Obasanjo gave them a marching order.
I think the man was even here in Nigeria.
He gave them a marching order. And give them time. We need to stop this trend of military rule here and there. And the man in Burkina Faso, Amani, said, "Oh, if Niger is attacked, they are going to support Niger." I don't expect anything less because they know that when Niger is taken care of, it will come back to them. So they're just trying to fight for their life.
Do you think Nigeria will go to war?
I don't expect it to lead to war. Not Nigeria. Don't mention Nigeria. It's not about Nigeria.
It is Nigeria.
It's not about Nigeria.
How many troops with
It is not about Nigeria. We are the giants of Africa, giants of West Africa. Nigeria can consume almost all the states in West Africa. We are the big brothers to all them. But no matter how small a country is, it's a sovereign nation. We must respect their authority. It's a collective responsibility. It is not about Nigeria. It's about ECOWAS. It's about West Africa. Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, is just the chairman of ECOWAS. And I can't take this decision alone.
Went to Liberia.
Yes, we take most responsibility.
That is the same.
That is why we are brothers. That is why we are the big brothers.
We did it in South Africa. What gain? To what gain?
Are we saying helping a brother? Helping a brother, you must be rewarded with what?
We get insulted in South Africa where Nigerians get killed.
We can no every good cannot be rewarded. So I just imagine when people will be talking about presidential actually Bola Ahmed Tinubu that is not good to as if it is a war between Nigeria and Niger. It's not a war between Nigeria.
It
is an intervention. It is intervention between ECOWAS and Niger.
We share a 1,250 kilometers.
It does not really matter. What is the capacity?
What is the capacity? Russia has sent Wagner troops there now.
Oh, no, that's all a speculation.
I'm telling you for real.
That's a speculation.
It is no longer speculation.
Even Russia condemned the military coup. The military
It
coup.
is no longer. I have it on.
What we don't is a speculation.
It is no longer speculation.
Okay, Wagner have been in Mali.
I should provide.
Wagner have been in Mali for how long? Before they were terminated. What was their achievement?
Well,
I'm a political researcher.
It is not Nigeria. It is not in Nigeria's interest. It is not in Nigeria's interest. Nigeria will bear the brunt of troops. We will bear the brunt of machinery.
Yes, no doubt about that.
Do we have the economic capacity to sustain that now?
We play our responsibility, and I pray, and it might not even get to that. Remember Jammeh.
They started demonstrating the north that they should not. Nigeria should not go to.
That is.
And you know our president.
That is people's opinion. I'm not against it. I myself does not believe that this should lead to war. But war or military intervention is the last resort. Remember, in Gambia, the same thing happened. The man lost election, doesn't want to relinquish power. And the ECOWAS mount up pressure on him.
Gambia is not as big as Ibadan.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You saw the build-up of the military build-up around his body. It doesn't have option. You will see what is going to happen. You will not shoot a single bullet.
We're going to get rid of it.
Yes.
I love that. Now let's talk about the new cabinet. The challenges ahead of them are enormous. Let's take key ministries: finance, power, agri, and I think Attorney General too, because that's the #1 law officer, and democracy thrives on the rule of law. What are your thoughts on the people? Alake is in solid mineral. People are saying, for me, I have my own opinion. People are saying, how can you put Alake in solid minerals? I say, must he be an expert in solid minerals? Or, except for a few ministries. What are your thoughts on these people?
Fayemi performed very well.
Is it Kwesile was there too?
And Fayemi was never a geologist.
He's a one.
And Kwesile too was there. One thing about ministerial appointment or ministry, manning a ministry, shouldn't be about expert and expert alone. There are some key ministry which require an expert on that field.
Attorney General, yes.
The Attorney General, which only capture, the ministerial appointment
in the constitution.
In the constitution.
It's the only one.
I think there was a time. You see what was the time? Or that a Surgeon General of United States of America was a nurse. Yeah. A nurse. Surgeon General. The role of a minister, of a CEO, is to coordinate, is to supervise,
policy,
is to ensure that the policy is well
articulated and
implemented. That's their role. They are experts. They are technocrats.
In the ministry.
Even in the ministry. And then they can get word across all over the world. So, see, is Wike an engineer?
He's Fashola.
And he's Fashola an engineer, and they perform very well. Like compared to the late Anini in the Ministry of Works.
Mr. Fix It.
In the Ministry of Works. So what am I saying in essence is that the performance of every ministry determine how well a minister coordinating their various ministry. It's not how good they are in their field. Umai, you see what he did in Ebonyi State, though he's an engineer. Yeah, he's an engineer. You see Fashola, what he did in Nigeria. Fashola deliver more than what PDP government have delivered between 1999 and 2015 in the Ministry of Works. He delivered. And he's never an engineer.
A lawyer.
You have seen so many geologists as journalists today. You have seen so many accountants.
Dr. Yemi Farombi, a broadcast guru, is a geologist.
So as a journalist today,
He's a broadcast guru.
so our education is just to impart us. And then you can be called upon. We see so many people. People are even complaining about the active civilian governor. There's an engineer who doesn't know. A lot of them have gone through so many training.
He must have been in that place for
a deputy governor. So what am I saying next time on the issue of ministerial appointment? Some people are saying we only know Kiamo as a lawyer who are deputy in aviation. The person who was in aviation, who was a captain, what does he perform?
Sirika.
What is his performance?
He duped Nigeria.
So what's his performance? So to me, it's not about your profession that you must get a technical in every department, in every ministry. No, it's about ability, capacity. And most of these people have capacity to man that position. And then let me tell you, they will all perform very well.
All right. Now, as we wrap up this conversation with Mr. David Kunle Oladeyinde, I call him Diamond. And of course, you know diamonds are forever. He himself is a public affairs guru in the media space. You heard him talk about this station, what it looks like, the beauty, and all of that. And before we round up, or as we round up, I want you to speak to Nigerians, wherever they may be.
Well, I don't have much to tell Nigerians. Nigerians be rest assured that we are in a safe hand. The pilot that is piloting the plane of Nigeria today is a very experienced pilot. He has capacity. He has ability. He has experience. He has capability to pilot the train of Nigeria. I am begging you, pleading with Nigeria, please bear with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He will deliver goodies to us. He will deliver the development of democracy to us. The pains of today go to be our gain tomorrow. Thank you and God bless you.
Wow, the pains of today will be our gains tomorrow. Keep hope alive. The slogan of the campaign of the president was, and still remains, hope renewed. Well, it's a wrap on political updates today, Monday the 22nd. Is it 21st or 22nd? 21st of August, year 2023. Keep hope alive. Hope renewed. Not just in man, but in God too. Thank you for listening and watching. God bless you all. Bye for now.
Before we reach the promised land, let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Tell me which way to go. I love my fatherland. Oh yeah, I want to know. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Every little thing